Welcome. So in my last video I played a little bit of Kill Confirmed on Call of Duty Advanced Warfare should I say. This time I'm doing a video on Destiny. The reason being I think I'm going to get rid of this game out of my PS4 collection because it just really does nothing for me, and I'd been thinking that, and then kind of when Call of Duty came out and I started playing that online again, it just reiterated my thoughts on this game. I don't know, I don't know what they were thinking with it, what they were going for, but it doesn't work whatever they were going for. And I've had a couple of times when I wanted to sort of play the game and it's just kept kicking me out of not really matches, but the kind of single player online stuff. You know, you're happily playing the game along, and they'll just kick you out. There are like checkpoints, but when you go back in, it will go to the latest checkpoint, but it's just not good enough. So as you can see, level 14, blah blah blah. Is that any relevance? I don't really care. So yeah, first of all, I don't like this menu system. You know, keep the cursors that move around for PC. I'm not using a mouse here. Don't irritate me with a shitty fucking interface. So, at the game being awesome, I could, you know, forgive that, but we'll start off going to this tower, and annoyingly, like the Halo games, you have to do this whole little launching bollocks, and it gives you a little kind of spaceship floating aimlessly in space. I think they were trying to kind of make the game seem like it's seamless, like you're going from the interface to like flying to your destination, but I'd rather just had, you know, a screen with a picture on that loaded faster, because it does seem to hang around quite a bit for a game that, you know, is installed like most PS4 games on the hard disk. So then you get this little extension of that sort of theme, waiting for this bollocks to fucking end. So yeah, already you can see why you'd get kind of annoyed with this game. And finally, no more. And then we suddenly jump into this tower place. So that's the tower, I guess. Nothing's really explained to you in this game. You basically wake up as this thing that you've created yourself, and start doing stuff. So you got these messages, and you have bounties, and I've not got enough space for any of them. So I've just got not enough space for anything. It's just outrageous. I can understand with abilities, you know, perk type things, but what the, I mean, and you got other players here, but why? You know, what's the point? Just got this guy here, giving him some crystal, I don't know, resources to get shit. The problem is I don't really care for any part of this game. And annoyingly, you're in a third person perspective, and it's first person game, and I would prefer to just stay in the first person perspective, even for these sort of tacked on RPG bits. So yeah, you can see there's quite a lot more players actually than I've ever seen before in here. So yeah, it's just bollocks really. I don't see the point in any of this. There's no interaction between the characters, and I'd rather it just be, you know, like a navigation screen, like a menu to do shit in, than run around this pointless like shit. And yeah, the graphics, in my opinion, aren't really impressive. So then we press the touchpad, and we have to hold the triangle button to go to orbit, if you can see in the bottom left of the screen when I was doing that, which is annoying. I'm sick of holding the triangle button and things to like just access shit. I wouldn't press it if I didn't want to do it. You know, it's not hold triangle to make fucking PS4 explode into a million pieces, so I don't see why I have to hold it like it's the end of the world if you do something by mistake. So we'll set the destination. We've got an exclamation mark on Mars. We've got some different bloody things here, but we'll go here. It says it's hard, blah blah blah. And it's the level rating, I guess you'd call it, is a couple of notches above me, but I've not found that a problem previously. So this is sort of the single player aspect of the game, and this guy chats shit. Blah 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 blah. All you need to know is, we're going onto this planet, it always spawns you in the exact same place. The missions are on the same planet. And yeah, after playing Call of Duty so much, it takes a little bit of adjusting to get into this. Right, so we can press the touchpad, summon a vehicle. The problem with the vehicles is that they tend to explode immediately if the enemy starts shooting at you, which is extremely annoying. And it can't get fucking up there, so what use is it anyway? And yeah, it's an invisible wall basically. So I put a bloody checkpoint there. Bloody invisible walls. This is the kind of game that I don't expect to have invisible walls. Right, so here we have some enemies. The grenades are kind of annoying because you throw a grenade and then it, like, in the bottom left hand corner of the screen, you can see that my grenades are recharging, and here we've got another dude, and he's shooting some motherfuckers. So yeah, that's the height of interaction with all players in Destiny. Just like you go along and you see some other guy. Yeah, it basically. But the most annoying thing is that you have to be online, as far as I'm aware, to play this game. So if the server's down or your internet's fucked, you're not playing the game. You have got a couple of weapons. You've got 3 weapons. You've got a normal, well, I've gone for the sort of assault rifle type weapon. So this is your assault rifle, kind of standard type plasma rifle, I guess you'd call it. Standard type fare. You can pause the game and upgrade it, but I wouldn't recommend doing that because it's an online game. It doesn't actually pause the game, and you will just end up dying, being killed by the enemies while you're trawling through menus. So definitely don't do that when there's enemies around, because you will get smoked. You see there's different types of enemies and shit. It does have a little bit of that kind of element of floaty jumping that kind of really winds me up in the Halo games, but it's not as bad. The game overall, in my opinion, is a bit sharper than the Halo games when it comes to combat mechanics. I hate to draw comparisons to these, other games, but it's the game. It just reminds me of Halo a lot, but like with kind of pretty much any sort of story element just completely removed. And yes, I was saying about the weapons, there is a third option, which is the special weapon, which is like a rocket launcher, which kicks ass, but you never really get ammo for it. Well, you do get ammo obviously, but it's not in abundance. So yes, what else is it to say? Yes, you kind of accumulate ammo by picking up these like kind of glowing, I don't know what you call them, chocolate box type things that the enemies drop when you kill them, that they leave behind. And oh yeah, supercharge, that's something to talk about. So after so long, bottom left hand corner again, the gauge at the top is now flashing yellow. You charge that up and then it gives you that nice little attack if you press L1 and R1, which is pretty handy for finishing off larger enemies, stronger enemies with shields and things like that. To be honest, the game is it is reminding me that it does have pretty satisfying, can't summon the vehicle there obviously because I'm indoors. It does have quite satisfying combat mechanics. So yeah, it's just the fact that I don't know, it's not a bad game, but it's just, what is it? It's not giving me any sort of satisfying single player experience. There is online multiplayer in the form of the Crucible, but that just isn't as satisfying to me as Advanced Warfare, unfortunately. I think I was having a lot more fun with this game before I played Advanced Warfare. I don't, what the fuck is going on with the goddamn checkpointing in this game? It's awful. See, that's the problem for every good thing that this game does, it just lacks in other areas, like the game just isn't finished. So yeah, we respawn. I don't even know what the penalty is actually for respawning, whether you lose like some XP or I don't know, multiply or something like that. You do kind of double jump in this game. You've got your normal jump like that, and then you've got your big jump, which is more like what you'd expect from Halo. Floaty jumps. Right, so I've got to find where the fuck I'm supposed to be going. I'm probably just going to get toasted here by the enemies shooting my... See, I went up here before. Down here, maybe? Or is it, was this a dead end? Well, we'll go down here. Bugger it. So yeah, the game kind of, in this single player kind of form, mainly consists of going to checkpoints, clearing out some enemies. There are portions of the game where respawning is limited, so it basically sends you right to the start of the last checkpoint and you've made no progress whatsoever, and you have to start from the beginning, which can get kind of frustrating, but if it didn't have that, the game would just be like pointless. There'd be no difficulty to the game whatsoever. Get a vehicle again.
I need to locate the spire.
See, I don't know whether you can eventually upgrade your vehicle, but it's just lacking like a weapon of some sort. As far as I'm aware, I'm not really, I'm not really experimented with the vehicle too much. So yeah, we're forced indoors. I could probably actually just ride my shit through there, but I'm just gonna run past everyone. Fuck it. I'm not in there. They're like called darkness areas or something. We might come to one now. Basically, you can't respawn because of this darkness stuff, which makes no sense. The game just doesn't make sense. It's got a good soundtrack though, which again just sounds like a Halo soundtrack basically, along them exact same lines. So, assault the tower. Nice. Shoot some motherfuckers. Ooh, better use that. Oh, I missed them and then died. That was lame. So yeah, overall I think the problem with this game for me is the fact that you have to be connected online to play the goddamn game, because I'm just worried about, you know, the money that I have spent on this game recently, which is, I think I paid about 32 quid for it. My worry is that the game, it's like, I don't care about it. Are other people going to carry on playing this game? You know, how long is it until the servers basically get shut down and things like that? That's one of the main reasons I basically want to get rid of this game before it's just a worthless disc that you can't use. But I might hold on to it for another week or two, I don't know. It's like I say, it's not a bad game, it just doesn't really do anything for me. I was expecting, to be honest, to be blown away by the graphics, and they're not that great in my opinion. They're lacking in anti-aliasing. I don't know, there's just not the sharp and, you know, the sharp crispness there. I don't really see the point in this little thing I'm doing here, because my respawning is not restricted. So it's not that difficult. I just deploy my ghost here. There we go. Probably have to defend him. I mean, this is what most of the game consists of, going up to some sort of control panel, setting your ghost off, which just reminds me of that flying circle sphere thing in the Halo games, and there's a couple of them. Yeah, just reminds me of that, and basically you go up with that thing to a control panel and then defend it while it hacks shit, and you know, like in Halo, how you'd wait for it to open a door and you'd be fighting off the enemies in the meantime. It's just that, but like that is what the whole game basically consists of. Just kind of sucks, kind of sucky big dicks. So running along. The only good thing about this game, well, I'm saying the only good thing about this game, there's a few good things, but one of the good things, I suppose, is that, you know, you're constantly sort of leveling up. So even if you suck at the game, so long as you're shooting something, you're getting better, you're leveling up, you're earning upgrades for your weapons and things like that. I thought that was a perilous pit of death then. It's just a paddling pool of patheticness in reality. Back shit ass bitch can't. So yes, here we have a limited respawn area, which you can see by the skull, kind of quarantine diamond motif thing, quadrant. So it chucks me back to the start of this section.
Feels like a trap.
It's because it is a trap.
It's just like a game that's devoid of soul. It's punching. Oh, for fuck's sake. There are some big ass, what you'd probably call kind of boss enemies. You get to fight towards like the end of these sort of sections, and as you'd expect, there's a lot of stuff in this game that I don't really understand. But I can't say enough that it's just that the game doesn't make me want to, like go on YouTube and check out what these things are and what they do and the different game modes. There's just not enough there for me to warrant spending my time doing that. Well, I've got supercharge now, so we'll use that. Oh, didn't use that to very good effect at all. Like an idiot. Got a grenade now though, just ram it in his face and finish him off and get killed again. So I guess it would be a good idea, rather than playing the same section over and over again, seeing as I can't concentrate while doing the video, what I will do is go back into orbit, and then we shall look at the Crucible, which is the online multiplayer that I can't really get on with. So we'll select Crucible, and is it Rumble that I want? Some of these, like you can't play that one there. I'm guessing that you have to level up a certain amount. So that's free for all. This is Team Deathmatch. Yeah, we'll go Team Deathmatch. Means I'll die less basically, which is a good thing. And once again we sit here waiting, although we're actually waiting to get into a competitive multiplayer match here. And we've got 12 out of 12 players. So yeah, the multiplayer, when I'm playing it, like when I play a good multiplayer game with, leveling up and things like that, I always feel like at the bottom scale of the bottom of the upgrade, the ranking ladder, level up ladder, whatever you want to call it, usually feel like you've got a fighting chance. But in this game I just feel like I've got no chance, and to be honest, I think the game probably runs at like 30 frames a second, and it's just not a match for the 60 frames a second multiplayer games out there. Kind of had that problem with Battlefield as well, Battlefield 4.